Hello, and welcome to Rethinking Our History, where we seek to shed a light on events that have been forgotten and covered up, and to make us all question how much do we really know about our history? I'm Felicia.
And I'm Ian, and we are here to reveal all the sordid details of history that have been swept under the rug. Get ready to get angry, be curious, and maybe have a laugh or two as we rethink our history.
Hello, friends.
Hey guys.
Thanks for joining us for another lesson. A pretty big number in this industry, number 50.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool. Let me make sure. Okay, just making sure my computer's muted.
50th rethinking.
My brain hurts. I don't want to think anymore.
Think about your history, folks. Think about it.
Just a heads up, we will not be recording next weekend
And
because,
then learn.
We're going to eat turkey with people and watch football on a Thursday.
Yeah.
I will release one episode from our Patreon show on that Wednesday, but you won't be getting a new history episode next week. So you'll have to go over to the Paranormal Lover thread.
Yeah.
And listen to one on Wednesday. With that in mind, and to round out Native American Heritage Month, I wanted to touch on a subject that we have been deconstructing over the last few years. That is the holiday of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Every year, like the majority of USAians across Turtle Island, we dress nice, cook, or travel to another home to share a meal with family. But the last few years, we've just kind of called it Turkey Day and used it as a time to reconnect with family. Because when you learn the history of the first Thanksgiving and all of the violent history against the native people of this land, it becomes a holiday you don't really want to support or celebrate.
It's like 4th of July. Like, celebrating it is not
No.
No. We don't want to celebrate it anymore. No. So
we have all been taught that Thanksgiving began after a meal that was shared between European settlers and the Wampanoag tribe in 1621. But while a meal did take place, the story we have been told is not the whole of it. And for Native communities across America, this is a national day of mourning and has been since 1970.
Yeah.
The colonists arrived in autumn of 1620, and if it had not been for the kindness and hospitality of the local community, they would not have survived their first winter in New England. During the following year, they were guided and supported by the Wampanoag people to build their new community, start farms, and just generally help them adjust to their new environment. Sometime between September and November of 1621, after a fruitful harvest, the two communities came together in a 3-day festival to celebrate the harvest. This is the meal they call the first Thanksgiving, but both the natives and Europeans come from cultures that celebrated the harvest and seasons. Not only that, it would not become a federal holiday for over 100 years. And after the meal took place, then it took almost another 100 years for the name Thanksgiving to stick. But even that is an oversimplification of the truth. Columbo, as we have previously covered, came to the Americas in 1492. European colonizers did not just stop coming over here after that. In fact, just 70 years after Columbo, a British explorer reached the northern coast of North America, likely in Canada. So the native people here had been dealing with Europeans for well over a century before the Mayflower landed, and their experiences were typically violent.
Yeah.
Shocker. Much of their previous contact had come from Europeans coming over and kidnapping people to send back to Europe as enslaved people. So by the time the Mayflower made port in December of 1620, the Wampanoag tribe was very wary of new settlers. But in the end, one community needed the other one, and one community could use the other one. So the newcomers would not survive the winter without the help of the natives, who had been living through it for millennia. And for the native community, the newcomers brought trade opportunity as well as military support against their rivals, the Narragansett tribe. As for the feast, it has become a theory that the native community, the ones who actually helped these pale-faced fuckers survive, were likely not even invited to the celebration, but just happened upon it. They weren't even invited, Bill.
It's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all that time we spent making construction paper Indian headdresses in elementary school for our little Thanksgiving plays that we had to do.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, y'all didn't even invite him.
No.
The Wampanoag had a treaty with the settlers to come to their aid if they were under attack, so it is believed that they heard gunshots and shouting from the village and went to lend aid. Just a bunch of fucking drunk white people.
Right.
Shooting guns. So they lived in Amy County, is what you tell me. Because, boy, oh, what did I do with my face? I don't think I have my face.
That's what everybody does around here. They get together and, like, shoot guns in their backyard.
I mean, seriously, like...
Because North Carolina.
We don't even... It's western North Carolina.
Yeah.
It's the mountains. It's Appalachia.
Just go back out in the woods and back in the holler.
Yeah. You can... I know the difference between backfire and a gunshot. I can tell you the difference between a handgun and a shotgun.
Or
just from hearing the gunshot. I can't tell you what kind.
Or the difference between a gunshot and an anvil. Remember that shit?
Yeah. Or an explosive. One of those explosive the fucking crazy fuckers like to shoot.
So
just because it explodes.
Our neighbors in Canton like to do what they call anvils. And they'll take a blacksmithing anvil and set it on top of some, highly explosive somethings and set the explosives off, and it'll shoot the anvil up in the air and go, pow!
Yeah. It was.
Crazy fuckers.
It's just 4th of July, New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, Veterans Day.
Any of those, really.
Saturday. They don't fucking care.
No, they don't.
It's so funny to live in a place where, like, you just don't flinch when you hear gunshots.
Yeah.
Like, if I was at work and heard gunshots, I'd probably freak out a little bit. But,
yeah, because it's in town.
Like, out in the wood, you're just like, all right, somebody's shooting.
Yeah.
Even artistic representations of this time were skewed to show the Great White Race, as most paintings only showed a few native people among the settlers, but in reality, the natives outnumbered the whites by at least 2-1. They also provided the majority of the food that likely composed more of like venison and fish instead of turkey and ham.
Right.
They did have cranberries, but they didn't have a cranberry sauce.
Did you say cranberries?
Cranberries.
Cram.
Not cram. Cran. Not cram. Cran. But it would not be until 1673 that this holiday really gained traction in one corner of New England, up in Connecticut, on a hill overlooking the Mystic River, set a fort built by the Pequot Nation. Just like many other areas Europeans set up colonies, things were okay at first, but then resources got scarce, disease ran rampant, and the lives the natives once had was upended. Then John Oldman was killed by Pequot warriors, and his ship was looted for resources. This started a back and forth war of attacks between the two communities that ended on May 26, 1637, when the fort was set ablaze and between 400 and 700 people were killed.
Wow.
And here I thought that the Bear River Massacre was the largest massacre to ever take place in the U.S., but it's possible that this could have been the largest massacre to ever take place.
Right.
Then in 1643, Governor Wilhelm Clef of New Netherland, present New York State, ordered attacks on any sites that were harboring Munsee-speaking refugees.
Okay.
In one night, 80 people were slaughtered in Pavonia in present-day New Jersey. with some of them having their hands and feet removed.
Jesus.
What is with the degradation of the bodies?
I don't know.
And it wasn't just white people doing this. There were other nations that had, what's the word when you have like people that come together? Other nations had like allied themselves with the British settlers. There were British settlers and there were Dutch settlers. Um, and so there was like infighting between the tribes. There was infighting between the settlers that came from different countries. And so the tribes would align themselves with certain settlers and then they'd just all be fighting against each other. Like,
Wow, what a crazy time.
I can't imagine. Not for me. I was definitely born in the right era because not for me.
Right.
After almost every one of these attacks, there was a feast of Thanksgiving. From the research, these colonizing bastards would have Thanksgiving. Yeah. Colonizing bastards would have Thanksgiving for damn near anything. Then we get to Lincoln, who would try to bring the country together by creating an official Thanksgiving holiday in 1863 during the height of the Civil War.
Right.
So they didn't actually like really celebrate it until like 1870 because like there was a Civil War. But he was like, we're trying to come together as a country. And it's like, but half of y'all want to own black people. So, not sure what you're giving thanks for.
Right.
Now, I'm not here to tell you to not celebrate this holiday. Some Native folks still celebrate it. But while you give thanks this week, set out a plate for the ancestors who died to make this country what it once was and what it could be again one day. Take a few minutes to sit with what was done to the people of this land, the same people who helped the settlers out and were almost wiped off the face of the earth for their kindness. So that was a really short kind of little look at Thanksgiving and how it came to be. It was really short this week, but I don't know. It was a lot to kind of shuffle through.
Happy Turkey Day, y'all.
Yeah, happy Turkey Day. Enjoy the football. I'm not going to say happy National Day of Mourning. I don't know how to say that.
Yeah.
Sorry you have a National Day of Mourning.
Right.
Because, yeah, it sucks. And, you know, a lot of people think there's the whole story we were told of how they had this one meal together. And then a lot of people say that it was started because of like all these attacks on the indigenous people. It's a little bit of everything, I think.
Yeah.
European people, they had fucking Thanksgivings for everything. You had a good harvest, Thanksgiving. You had a good, like, cow birthing season, Thanksgiving. Your kid fell in a river and didn't die, Thanksgiving. You know, you killed a bunch of Indians up the road, Thanksgiving. Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, just the word itself sounds Christian.
It's
kind of.
It's Christian, but it's also pagan. Because, you know, every time you have a harvest season,
giving thanks to the solstice.
You give thanks for a good harvest. If you make it through the winter, you give thanks for making it through the winter.
Right.
You know, if you don't die in the summer, you give thanks for not having a heat stroke and dying in the summer.
That's why we're taking it back.
You know, so
we're taking the Thanksgiving back.
I, for one, this year am thankful for the black and brown people who have helped build this country and who still continue to put themselves on the line every single day, day in and day out. And I am also thankful for the white allies that are out there because they out there.
Power
you just got to find them. Power to the people. All right, guys. Well, like I said, it's a really short one this week, but we hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for joining us for another lesson. We hope you guys have a good holiday and enjoy the time with friends and family.
Remember your history and be kind to each other.
We will see you guys in a couple of weeks.
See
Love
you
you
guys.
later. Bye.
Love you guys. Bye.